Check out my new sponsor, MMOEXP. They're not the fastest in the world, but I'm telling you guys right now, they are the cheapest coin seller on the market right now. I'm talking $25 per mil. Plus, my code Bkindel will save you 5% off your order. Woo! What is good, everybody? We are back with another video, and today we're going to be predicting the 2021 NFL playoff picture. We're going to go through every game. I'm going to tell you who's going to win and who's going to lead their team to the Super Bowl. But before we get into the video, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. In the comment section below, let me know your prediction for who's going to win the Super Bowl. Do you think Patty Mahomes and the Chiefs repeat as champions? Or do you think Aaron Rodgers brings the Lombardi Trophy back to Titletown? Are you just in a fucking attitude and you think the Washington football team shocks the world and Alex Smith leads them to the promised land? Have some fun with it. Let me know in the comment section who you think is going to win the 2021 Super Bowl. But we're going to start out with the AFC side of things. We got the Ravens versus the Titans. The Titans are the home seed. They ended up winning the division and they're going to be playing the Ravens. It's a very run-heavy style game for both teams. Obviously, Titans got Derrick Henry, ran for over 2,000 yards this year. And then the Ravens got a ton of running backs, a lot of depth there. And they also got the fastest QB probably that ever played the game in Lamar Jackson. So I think this is going to be a close game. The thing I don't like about the Titans is they get zero pressure on the quarterback whatsoever, where the Ravens defense has been playing really good. If they're able to contain and bottle up Derrick Henry and force Ryan Tannehill to beat them, I think Ravens win this game. But obviously Derrick Henry's a freaking mammoth of a man. I think this is going to be a really close game, but I got to give this to the Ravens and their style of offense. Like I said, I feel like with the Titans not being able to get any pressure on Lamar, just letting him do whatever he wants back there, he's going to be able to run for over 100 yards, and anything he does passing is just going to be extra. Expect a very run-heavy game here. But now we got the 6 seed Browns versus the Steelers. They literally just played yesterday. Obviously, it was Mason Rudolph versus Baker Mayfield, but Baker Mayfield got the win and led the Browns to the first playoff in what, 17 years, dude? That is so long without a playoff berth, man. Browns fans deserve this. They've been through hell the past couple of years, but I think this is going to be a really good game. I think the Steelers are a very overrated team. They are going in on a kind of a cold streak. They started what, 11-0, and they're 12-4 now. They lost 3 of their last 4. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure they lost 3 of their last 4 games. And then the Browns are riding the hot hand. Not necessarily hot hand, but they got all the hype going into the playoffs because they're all hyped up. It's their first playoff berth in 17 years. They ended up beating the Steelers last week, so they're confident they can beat them again. I'm going with the shocker here, and I'm going to take the Browns, dude. They have 2 of the best running backs in the entire NFL, in Nick Chubb and then Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, I feel like, be a top 10 back on any other team. And then the Steelers, their pride's their defense. Their offense is very overhyped. It's not that good. Big Ben, he's had a decent year. They got some decent weapons, but overall, they're not a great offensive team. So if Myles Garrett and the Browns can just get pressure on the offense, I think they come away with this game. I think the Browns' run game's just going to be too strong against Steelers' front 7, and I just got a feeling about the Browns, man. They were one of my Super Bowl picks at the beginning of the year. I'm sticking with them for at least this game. Colts versus Bills. Bills Mafia finally get a playoff berth, man. Them and the Browns have been through hell. They haven't been to the playoffs in I don't know how long. They haven't won the AFC East in, what was it, like 17 years or something? 15? I don't freaking know. It was the Tom Brady realm. He freaking won the division every single year. But we got Colts versus the Bills. Bills got a really good team, man. I honestly think they're a legit Super Bowl contender this year, especially the way the AFC is kind of lined up. And the Colts just snuck in thanks to the Bills flooding and putting up, what, 56 points versus the Dolphins. This Bills offense is explosive. Their defense has some insane DBs back there with Poyer, Micah Hyde, and Tre'Davious White. I think the Bills are a legit Super Bowl contender. Very good team. I'm going to pick them to beat the Colts. Moving on to the NFC, we got the Buccaneers versus the Washington football team. Dude, unless you're a Bucs fan, if you're not rooting for the Washington football team in this game, you're just straight up lying. I think everybody's kind of sick of playoff Tom Brady at this point, but I think there's no way you can bet against him at this rate, dude. Going against Washington football team, a 7-19, barely making it to the playoffs. And the only reason they got 7 wins is strictly because they played the Giants, the Eagles, and the Cowboys 6 times this year. And on top of that, Alex Smith, his story's amazing. Comeback player of the year. So happy he's playing right now. But he's not exactly the quarterback that's going to lead you to huge playoff wins. He's the guy that's going to dump off a lot of drags, do a lot of slants, pass it to his running back a lot. But this Washington football team defense is really good. Unfortunately, the way the Brady and the offense is playing in Tampa right now, they're putting up like 40-50 a game. Buccaneers win this one pretty easily. Rams versus the Seahawks. This one is strictly going to come down to, is Jared Goff going to play? I have no idea. I haven't heard anything yet. I don't even remember. He had a thumb injury, right? So it really depends on if he can play. The Rams had the best defense in the NFC, I believe. Their defense was really good. Obviously, they got Jalen Ramsey and some dogs up front, got pressure on the QB, and then Seattle's defense isn't exactly a top-notch defense by any means. They got Jamal Adams. They can do a lot of things with him, Quandre Diggs, but obviously their bread and butter is going to be the offense. You got Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, Tyler Boyd, Chris Carson. They got a lot of weapons to choose from on this offense, so it's really going to come down to who wins, defense or offense. I'm going to give it to the defense in this one and have the Rams winning. Mitchell Trubisky versus Drew Brees. The game of legends right here, man. God, they're actually talking about extending Mitchell Trubisky and freaking Matt Nagy. I don't know what the Bears front office is doing at this point. They snuck into the playoffs, though, as a wildcard team and now have to play Drew Brees and the Saints, who actually have a good defense this year. It's really just going to come down to how far the Saints go is how far Drew Brees can lead them, because they got all the weapons, they got the defense, they have the team to win a Super Bowl this year. And with that being Drew Brees last year, you know he's going to have field to the fire. He's going to want to go out, lead his team, and give it all he's got. I'm going with the Saints in this one pretty easily. The Bears, obviously, going against that defense. You got Mitchell Trubisky. Like, it's a no-brainer at that point. The Ravens versus Josh Allen and Bills Mafia, man. Like I said, I think this Bills team's good enough to make it to the Super Bowl. They're going to make a run. I feel like they're going to be really prepared to the style of offense the Ravens play, and that's through running the ball, and specifically with Lamar Jackson. I think the Bills win this one, man. Their offense is too dynamic. They got good defense. They're just a very well-balanced team. I think they'll be able to lock up the run at least a little bit, or the offense is going to force the Ravens to pass the ball, and that's what you want to do versus Lamar, obviously. You want to force him to pass the ball. You want to make him beat you passing, and I don't think he's going to be able to do that versus that Bills secondary. Browns versus the Chiefs. I had the Browns with the upset in round 1. That run game's just going to be too much. They were one of my Super Bowl predictions for earlier in the year. I just love talent on this team, but they're going against the defending champion Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, an MVP candidate right here. I think they're freaking hype everything around them. I think their run ends here. I think the Chiefs end up winning this game and will play the Bills in the AFC Championship game. Back to the NFC side of things, we got the Buccaneers versus the Saints, and then we got the 6-seed Rams versus the 1-seed Packers. Starting out with the Bucs and Saints, these teams, obviously, they're in the same division. They already played twice this year. The Saints won both of them. And if there's one thing that's a given to the NFL, it is so hard to beat the same team 3 times in a season. It does not happen a lot. It's just very hard to do that. They're going to have a good game plan. They've seen everything the Saints like to do against them, and they're going to fully commit to beating them that way again. They're going to try to run the same stuff that worked the first time. Buccaneers are going to be prepared for it. Plus, like I said, man, it's playoff Tom Brady, but it's Tom Brady versus Drew Brees. It's a matchup we want to see. We got 3 legit Hall of Fame, all-time great quarterbacks towards the end of their careers still left in the NFC side of things, plus Patrick Mahomes in the AFC. This is what playoff football is all about, man. As good as the Saints defense has been this year, that Bucs offense is too explosive right now. Tom Brady's playing out of his mind for being 43 years old. On top of that, he's got Chris Godwin, he's got Mike Evans, he's got Gronk. They got a good running game with Ronald Jones. They got AB. They have so many things on the offense, and if the defense can just get pressure on Breeze, they're going to be sad because Drew Brees obviously doesn't have the arm strength that he used to. He's going to be running a lot of slants to Michael Thomas, a lot of dump offs to Alvin Kamara, just trying to make people miss. And the Buccaneers are a pretty good tackling team. I'm going to give this one to the Bucs going to the NFC Championship game. Rams vs. Packers, we got probably the best defense in the NFC versus the best offense of the NFC. It's just like the Rams-Seattle game. It's going to be a matter of what's better, the defense or the offense. And the Packers defense has improved a ton over the past 6 weeks of the season. They've been able to at least stop the run consistently, holding Derrick Henry to under 100 yards. And they got some of the best young cornerbacks in the game, with Jair Alexander playing like an all-pro and then Kevin King on the other side. On top of that, Darnell Savage is looking like the old Nick Collins, and then Adrian Amos is doing his thing. He's been a consistent workhorse back there doing everything. But the thing that the Packers have proven this year is that there is no defense that can consistently stop them. The only one that's been able to do that is the Buccaneers. I think they had 8 sacks that game or something ridiculous, something like that. They were able to get pressure on Rodgers, and that caused the Packers to get flooded. No other team has been able to contain the Packers' offense like that. And on top of that, the Rams' offense just isn't that good. Jared Goff, Cam Akers, whoever else, they got a running back. They got Robert Woods having a good year, but overall that offense just isn't going to be that good. Packers defense is good enough to contain them. I think the offense gets the better of the defense this time. And now we are on to the NFC and AFC Championship. We got the Bills versus the Chiefs, and then the Buccaneers versus the Packers. We're going to start with Josh Allen versus Patty Mahomes right here. I think this is going to be a great game. We got Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Both are up for MVP right now. And these are two of the most explosive offenses in the NFL. This is going to come down to which defense gets one extra stop, because I think it's going to be back and forth, back and forth. I will not be surprised if there's 65 plus points in this game. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think you're going to see a lot of yards. You're going to see a lot of touchdowns. It's going to be a great game. But I've been saying this the entire video, man. That Bills secondary is nasty. Micah Hyde's one of the best coverage safety. Jordan Poyer playing like an all-pro, yet somehow getting Pro Bowl snubbed. Plus, he is slaying Rachel Bush. Goddamn. And also, you got Tre'Davious White, one of the best corners in the NFL. The Chiefs' weak spot is their linebackers. Are they going to be able to contain the run? Are they going to be able to stop some of these tight ends and these wide receivers on these drag routes? That's really to be determined. The Chiefs' weak spots, obviously their defense. It can't keep up with the offense. So I'm going to give this one to the Bills. The Bills Mafia going to the Super Bowl. And I remember I predicted this last year, man. We need to see a Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers Super Bowl. Unfortunately, that can't happen anymore. But what better than the NFC Championship game deciding which team actually gets to go play in the Super Bowl? These two teams played earlier this year, and it didn't go well for the Packers. Well, one thing I haven't mentioned this year is obviously the playoffs run through Lambeau. The Buccaneers playing Tampa. Say what you want. I got bashed on so much for this last year, but playing in the cold weather matters. The Buccaneers versus Packers are going to be playing in late January, where it's going to be 10 degrees and colder, and there could be snow. You're taking a team used to playing in that temperature and putting a team from Florida there used to having 60, 70 degree weather at this time playing in the snow. It's not easy. It's hard to warm up. It's hard to catch the ball. It's hard to throw. It's hard to hold on. You saw what happened with the Titans in that game. Yeah, they're freaking memos. That's just they're going to give it to Derrick Henry and run the ball, but they really couldn't do anything else because of the weather. They had a lot of drops that game. They had to really change up their offense even if they knew Derrick Henry was getting stopped. And I think we see a lot of that with this game too. The Buccaneers are going to completely have to change their game. They're going to have to switch, try to run the ball a ton. Ronald Jones killed the Packers last time, but like I said, the Packers defense has improved a ton every week. They've gotten better and better stopping the run, and this offense is just a different beast right now, man. Aaron Rodgers is the MVP. He is a man on the mission.
2 seconds later.
That's right, I'm taking the Packers to make it to Super Bowl 55. I think this is going to be a game for the ages, and I will not be surprised if the Buccaneers win this game, but I'm strictly going off who's winning this game is the Packers are playing at Lambeau Field, where they are just obviously much better. Rodgers hasn't played an NFC championship game at home his entire career yet. And you're taking a team from Tampa who all year has been playing in warm weather. It's going to be hard to get warmed up. It's going to be hard to stay loose. It's going to be hard holding on to the ball, catching. Guys, I don't think you understand how much harder it is to play in cold, snowy weather when you are not used to it. Packers win this game strictly because they're at Lambeau. This Super Bowl is going to be a ton of fun. We got the Bills versus the Packers. These are two teams I'm rooting for all the way. Obviously, I'm a Packers fan, and no, I'm not being biased, so don't even say that. And then we got the Bills, who are just a great story this year. They have always been undershadowed by Tom Brady. They haven't been able to put it together, and this year I think is finally their year. They got good offense, good defense, but like I said, the Packers, Aaron Rodgers, man on a mission. This is the best defense Aaron Rodgers has had since their Super Bowl year in 2010. And it's not even a great defense. That just shows how little help he has got on that side of the ball. The man can't do it all himself. So Bills versus Packers, once again, I feel like this is going to be an absolute shootout. But one thing I haven't mentioned this game is you're not facing any teams, the Packers, that run the ball. That's their weak spot right there. They can play very good pass defense. They'll get pressure after their quarterback. They got a very good secondary, and their linebackers are playing great. Their weak spot's their defensive line, and the Bills are not a run-heavy team. They're a team that's going to pass the ball, spread it around the field. Stephon Diggs is having his best year of his career. Josh Allen playing like an MVP. It's really going to come down to which defense has the better pass defense, and I'm going to give this Super Bowl win to the Green Bay Packers. I think the Lombardi Trophy comes back to Titletown. Aaron Rodgers is a man on the mission, man. It's hard to go against the MVP. Aaron Rodgers is having arguably the best year of his career. He's going off right now. He's going to shut the haters up. He's going to make a run. I believe this is the Packers' year. This is the best team they've had since his last Super Bowl. But there you boys have it. That is my 2021 NFL playoff predictions. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section, and let me know what team you think is going to win the Super Bowl. If you want to see more NFL videos like this, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'm out. Peace.